Here's a truth that might ruffle some feathers. Most romantic trilogies lose their magic by the third installment, leaving audiences disappointed and wishing they'd stopped at movie 2. But here's where it gets controversial. Hallmark's The Groomsmen Last Dance might just be the exception that proves the rule. This concluding chapter of the Groomsmen saga delivers what fans have been desperately waiting for since the series began. Tyler Hynes takes center stage as Jackson, a devoted father navigating the choppy waters of single parenthood, while his teenage daughter Betty relocates to Italy with her mother. And this is the part most people miss. Jackson's journey isn't just about finding love. It's about learning when parental protection becomes suffocating control. Should you invest your time in The Groomsmen Last Dance? The opening sequence brings us full circle to that pivotal wedding celebration where everything started, Hannah's Greek nuptials that set 3 love stories in motion. We witnessed Pete's encounter with Chelsea in the debut film, followed by Danny's revelation about his manager Zach's relationship in the sequel. Now, Jackson faces his own life-altering moment when he discovers Betty's permanent move to Italy with her mother Tricia. The heart of the story. Jackson's character development takes center stage in this final installment, revealing layers we've only glimpsed before. While his career managing social media influencers has grown stale, his unwavering dedication to fatherhood remains his defining trait. When Tricia's work obligations require a month-long absence from Italy, Jackson sees an opportunity to escape his mundane routine and reconnect with Betty on the stunning Italian coastline. But here's where it gets interesting and potentially controversial among viewers. Jackson's first encounter with the fiery local restaurateur Gabriella unfolds as a classic enemies-to-lovers scenario, complete with a near collision that has her berating him as yet another careless American tourist. Some might argue this meet-cute feels tired and predictable, but others will find comfort in its familiar charm. Gabriella isn't just another pretty face in Jackson's story. She's Betty and Tricia's landlord and co-runs a family restaurant with her mother. The interconnected nature of their lives makes avoiding each other impossible, setting up the perfect slow-burn romance that Hallmark audiences crave. When Jackson volunteers his professional expertise to revamp Gabriella's restaurant branding, their professional collaboration blossoms into something deeper. However, just as sparks begin to fly during a cozy dinner at his place, orchestrated by matchmaker Betty, Jackson's fear of commitment kicks in, and he sabotages their budding connection before it can truly begin. The town's enchanting masquerade festival provides the backdrop for Jackson's emotional breakthrough. A mysterious dance with a masked partner, obviously Gabriella, though the film treats it as a surprise, awakens his dormant romantic feelings. Yet Jackson continues his pattern of emotional self-sabotage until Betty delivers some hard truths that most parents won't want to hear. Here's the controversial part that might spark heated discussions. Betty calls out Jackson's helicopter parenting, explaining how his constant hovering has isolated her socially and stunted her independence. She accuses him of being overprotective, not just of her, but of his own heart, a criticism that cuts deep because it's absolutely accurate. The pivotal vineyard sequence, where Jackson accompanies Gabriella to negotiate a business merger between her family's restaurant and her estranged father's vineyard, serves multiple narrative purposes. Their car breakdown forces an overnight stay with Gabriella's gruff, emotionally distant father, essentially showing Jackson his potential future if he doesn't change course. The bonding between these two protective fathers, both nursing wounds from failed marriages, provides Jackson with the wake-up call he desperately needs. His success in convincing Gabriella's father to sign the merger contract parallels his own need to take emotional risks. The mystery bride revelation. Throughout all 3 films, a mysterious runaway bride has been narrating the stories from her hiding spot in an Irish pub. The big reveal that this bride is actually an adult Betty, now calling herself Elizabeth, marrying Milo, Danny's nephew, who unsuccessfully pursued her during the original wedding, provides satisfying closure to the overarching narrative. But here's what might frustrate some viewers. Betty's reason for fleeing her own wedding feels somewhat shallow. She wanted an epic, globe-spanning love story like the three groomsmen experienced, rather than her seemingly ordinary relationship with Milo. The resolution, involving a childhood arcade game where Milo's high score, MLB, actually stands for Milo Loves Betty, either strikes you as sweetly nostalgic or disappointingly simple. There's no middle ground. Comparisons and context. This Italian-set romance shares DNA with other Hallmark offerings, like Two Scoops of Italy, while the trilogy's structure echoes Four Weddings and a Funeral, spread across multiple installments. The familiarity works both for and against the film, depending on your tolerance for genre conventions. Critical assessment. The entire groomsman journey succeeds primarily because of its character-driven storytelling and genuine emotional connections. Jackson's romance with Gabriella follows predictable beats. But the real magic lies in Tyler Hynes and Chloe Raphael's father-daughter dynamic. Their scenes crackle with authentic warmth and believable family chemistry that elevates the material beyond typical romantic comedy fare. However, one element that might divide audiences is the disconnect between young Betty and adult Elizabeth. While narrative necessity required making them seem like different people initially, the transformation feels too dramatic. Young Betty's mischievous, tomboyish energy doesn't quite align with Elizabeth's more refined, proper demeanor, though some might argue this represents natural character growth. The climactic wedding sequence delivers the emotional payoff fans expect, complete with the iconic Shake Your Groove Thing dance routine that originated from the groomsmen's childhood camp days. It's pure Hallmark comfort food, and whether that appeals to you depends entirely on your appetite for such fare. Standout performances. Chloe Raphael deserves special recognition for bringing depth and authenticity to Betty, without falling into annoying teenager stereotypes. Her chemistry with Hynes feels genuinely familial, making their emotional moments genuinely moving rather than manipulative. Final verdict. The Groomsmen, Last Dance successfully concludes its trilogy with satisfying character arcs and emotional resolution. While it doesn't reinvent romantic comedy formulas, it executes them with enough heart and charm to justify the investment. The film rewards viewers who followed the journey from the beginning while remaining accessible to newcomers. For those seeking comfort viewing with predictable, happy endings, this delivers exactly what's promised. But here's the question that might spark some passionate responses. In an era of complex, subversive storytelling, is there still value in straightforward romantic comedies that embrace rather than challenge genre conventions? And this brings us to the ultimate controversy. Does Hallmark's commitment to feel-good entertainment represent a refreshing alternative to cynical modern media? Or does it perpetuate unrealistic relationship expectations that might actually harm viewers' real-world romantic prospects? What do you think? Are you team give me all the predictable romance? Or do you believe these films set impossible standards? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't hold back if you think Jackson's overprotective parenting was actually justified, or if Betty's wedding cold feet made perfect sense. This is one discussion where there are no wrong answers, only passionate opinions.